Hello and welcome to Chat with Dr. Kat. I'm Dr. Kat. Nice to see you today. This is going to be part 2 to New Year's resolution. Kind of seeing where you're at, we're maybe a few weeks in. Let's just kind of check in and see what's going on and actually provide you with some more ideas. As always, if you have any thoughts or feelings, feedback, whatever it is that you want to say, please reach out at chatwithdrkat.com. It can be anonymous or you can put in your information. As always, this is going to be real talk, no fluff, no judgment, just real talk with real solutions. Okay, so let's see where you're at. Now, part of what you were doing is you were making a list. On one side, you were going to be writing out your New Year's resolutions. And I'll give examples of, big ones like you're moving, new job, different things like that. And smaller ones as well. And then on the right side of the paper, you're going to take the baby steps in order to get to that, right? To earn those goals. I also gave you some suggestions about writing in 4 different envelopes for January, February, March, and April. If you haven't done it yet, you still can. It's no big deal. If you want to push till May, wow. If you want to push to December, that's okay. But you want to be actively doing something new. I would recommend incorporating something new each month. Maybe another idea would be to add something new each month for all 12 months. Instead of a big one, a house or new job or whatever it is, maybe they're just smaller, easy to fit goals that you incorporate every month and you keep building. One of the things that I think is a great thing to do at the beginning of the new year or a few weeks in is a gratitude list. What are you grateful for? What is it that's working in your life right now and that you want to maintain? It doesn't always have to be a resolution to create change. Your change can come from doing the same thing, meaning be happy about what you have. Be grateful for what you have. So take some time and do that gratitude list. Now let's go over some other things that I think would be really good for you to add every single month. Some people want to do every couple of weeks. You can add them to your envelopes to open up, or you can just create an entirely new list. Again, if you find yourself weeks into January and you haven't accomplished any of your goals, totally okay. Please do not allow the last few weeks to then set the tone for the rest of the year. Again, be aware. Aware is the most important thing, that you haven't accomplished what you've wanted. That's okay. Sit back, look at what you have accomplished, and maybe it's some of the things you have been doing. Give yourself a pat on the back. Now, moving forward, don't allow your negative feelings now to then navigate what you're going to be doing for the next several months, even up to a year. It's okay. It's no big deal. No big deal. Just get back into it. So let's go over some of those things. So one of the big ones that I've heard from people, because I did ask a few people what they thought, less screen time as a family, less screen time with yourself, whatever it is, less screen time. Find something else that you can do in that time other than screen time. Maybe you could take a walk. Maybe you can garden. Maybe you can go outside and, look for butterflies, look for birds, call a friend. There's so many different things that you can do other than go on screen time. I know it's very easy and I know it's very habit forming. This is definitely one on mine as well for this year. Try a new restaurant. Try a new restaurant once a month. If you are somebody who goes out to restaurants, you may be going out once a week to a restaurant. It doesn't have to be a fancy restaurant or expensive restaurant, but go online, look at different ones, or hear from other people. Maybe create a list. Sit down, because you're working on less screen time. Set up a whole list of restaurants you want to try over the next year. there's a lot of different people out there that will say, oh, these are the best burgers in LA. These are the best tacos. These are the best shawarmas. These are the best restaurants that have this type of ambiance, whatever it may be. Choose it and do something different. Because remember, in life, when we keep doing the same things over and over and over again, it creates routine. Routine creates comfort, but monotony, right? It's just the same thing over and over again. When we do things different, life feels longer. So move out of routine. Try a new restaurant. How about a new recipe? If you are somebody who loves to cook, try a new recipe with your partner, with your kids, with your roommate, with your friends. Try a new recipe that you want to try out that's simple, some that are more complex. Maybe some old recipes from some of these great cookbooks, like Julia Childs has this amazing recipe. Actually, a friend of mine posted on Facebook that she did the beef bourguignon, and I want to try it, and I'm going to do it this year. It seems like it's a process, but I'm going to do it. Other ones are very simple recipes. Maybe your kids know about some that go viral. There's a curry one, or there's the feta cheese one. There's all these different ones that are out there. Have your kids have fun with it. Here's another fun tip that you could do with kids. Maybe do it chopped. Come up with 5 ingredients. Put it under a dish towel and have your kids open it up, and they've got to make an appetizer, maybe an entree, and a dessert. And each time they're given different ingredients. I don't know. It's fun. You can do it with a partner as well. New projects. Maybe you want to start sketching again. Maybe you want to learn how to play the piano. Maybe you want to learn some type of dance. Maybe you want to go bird watching. I actually love bird watching. I don't know why, but I do. I love it. I love birds. There's so many different things that you can do. A do-it-yourself project at home, or the office, or with friends. These are definitely things that could be great on the list. Declutter. Find a different part in the house to declutter, in your apartment, wherever you live. Now, here's the thing. When we talk about people that really clutter, we think about hoarders. And part of their way of thinking is that it's out of control. A lot of times there's an obsessive compulsive component that goes along with it. And they can't, they look at a room that's monumental with items. Where do they start? Sometimes we feel that way too. You look at a room and maybe you have 3 counters in your room, 2 dressers or 2 nightstands and a dresser. It's covered with stuff. Maybe Monday, do half of one nightstand. Tuesday, do the other half. Wednesday, do the other half on the other one. It doesn't have to be so big, but maybe once you start decluttering that one counter, you feel motivated to do the other one. If not, that's okay, put it down, but come back to it in the next day or so. Give yourself baby steps, because oftentimes when we look at things, we look at the project as a whole. Like if we have a pile of clothes that we need to put on hangers, maybe just do 4 or 5 a day. Go back, next day, 4 or 5. Eventually, the pile will go away, right? But when you look at it with 100 pieces of clothing, it seems overwhelming and you don't do it. Okay, so find different areas in the house, maybe a drawer, half a drawer, whatever it is. Maybe you want to do a new haircut. Maybe you want to do a new hair color. Maybe you want to try something different with your life. Try it. Now's the time. Oftentimes we do get stuck in different ways of doing things, and maybe a few little highlights here or certain things that you do can create that change. Now, is that a New Year's resolution? Absolutely. It's change. It's creating change. Change leads to different ways of feeling, more positivity. It expands our feeling of life and time. I think all of it is great. A different workout. If you tend to only do Pilates, maybe you add on walks. If you only do kickboxing, maybe you do, hot yoga. Maybe there's things that you can do differently, or cycling. Add something new. Small travel. Now we do, a lot of times people talk about travel. I love to travel. Definitely on my list every year. But sometimes, maybe there's a small trip that you go, I'm in the Los Angeles area. Maybe you take a day trip to Santa Barbara. Maybe you go for overnight. Maybe you never go to the beach and you want to go to the beach for the day. These are small little trips that you can add. It was an interesting thing. When my children were younger, they love the ocean and still do. And I never really did a lot of camps with them, and it was just, my choice. And again, my choice to not do that. People that put their kids in camps, I think, is wonderful. You have to learn to not apologize for what you choose to do with your family. And on the flip side, don't criticize those who choose to not do what you do. The world goes around with different decision making. So the one camp that my kids decided that they would like to go to was surf camp. So what I would do is I'd, get them in the car in the morning. They did it a couple of times a week. Sometimes I'd pick up some friends and I would drive them down there, and it was only about 4 hours. And what I did on those days, I went to the beach. Sometimes I went and worked on my laptop at a restaurant right on the beach. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. Other times I would just go sit on the beach. There was a few times that I, went and up with the car, rolled down the windows, took a little nap. It was wonderful. Wonderful. I loved that time because it was something different that my life was used to. So that's definitely going on my list again this year, is I want to head to the beach. I really do love the beach. Okay, read more. Maybe get a book club. Maybe organize something at your kid's school or with friends. And here's the thing. You don't always have to get together. You could do this remotely. But read some more. Get out there, read. Less screen time, more reading. Also, gourmet clubs. You can meet with friends, meet, 4 times a year, come up with a menu idea. I remember I was part of one years ago. I really did enjoy that. I think I want to do that again. Volunteer. Now, volunteer can be very small to very big. Maybe you decide to volunteer at your local animal shelter. Maybe you go to certain organizations where you can, give back, organize packages. Maybe you can go to your churches, your temples, places of faith, different places where you can provide help. Maybe you could be a big brother, big sister to somebody, Boys and Girls Club, a lot of things you could do. Now, here's the thing about volunteering. You can do it one time, or you can do it a lot of times. You can do it for 1 hour, you can do it for several hours. Up to you. Up to you. Find new friends. I just mentioned church, temple, places of worship. Go back. If you haven't been and it's something missing out in your life, sometimes people will come into session with me and they say that they're missing things in their life, and sometimes they've given up on faith, and not faith in their beliefs, but practicing faith, that they become more of a person by holiday. One of the things I ask is, do you enjoy praying or meditating or doing something that respects the faith of what you believe? And oftentimes, more often than not, people say, yeah, I've really enjoyed it over the years. And I said, you can pray today. You can meditate today. You can change that today. Today. You can add it to your list of what you want to do. Maybe you wake up every morning with positive affirmations. Maybe you wake up every day and you say thank you to whomever your faith believes in. You can do it every day. It's a funny thing I have, and I do this with family and friends. And now they always say, oh my gosh, you always find the best parking. And I don't know what it is, but I'm so grateful that I do. But every time I get a great parking, and I make every parking a great parking, by the way, I always say, thanks, parking angel. I don't know what it is. I mean, I go in between parking fairy and parking angel, but really what it is just gratitude. It's a moment of gratitude. I do it in front of my family because I want them to witness gratitude on a regular basis. Just grateful, even for parking. That little bit makes you feel good. I don't know, something simple. Remember the simple things. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Random acts of kindness. Now, not everybody has the money for this. It's not a lot of money, but sometimes you're in the Starbucks line or whatever coffee place you go to, and you can ask the person, hey, and it's okay to ask this, hey, how much is the bill of the person behind me? They may say, oh, they just got a coffee, $6.50. I'd like to pay for that person's coffee. Acts of kindness. You know, my husband and I were on a trip, and our daughter was not feeling well. And we were visiting her, actually. And we were stopped at this restaurant, and we did not pay attention to the fact that it said cash only. Did not pay attention. And we had just gotten a few different little things. So many people and TikTok recommended this place to go. And we were up at the counter. I get a phone call from our oldest. And she says, you know, I need you to come. I'm not feeling well. We said, oh my gosh, we're on our way. We had already ordered. It was there. And they said cash only. Well, we're digging through everything. And it was actually really inexpensive, but we were, you know, $1 short. And we said, we're $1 short. Maybe can we Venmo? Can we Zelle? And they said, oh, I guess you can, but it's only $1. This lovely person behind us, and I did say, I said, I'm so sorry, and our daughter's not feeling well. We have to leave. This wonderful person behind us comes up. He opens his wallet and he said, here's $1. He says, go, take it, go be with your daughter. What a beautiful act of kindness. Beautiful act of kindness. Because of that, I want to pay it forward. Those are those ripples of kindness I talk about. Acts of kindness. Now here I am talking in my podcast about this beautiful man. What he did not go unnoticed. I am forever grateful, and he's part of my story. I get to tell people about this beautiful man. Do wonderful things, acts of kindness. Health habits, changing health habits, healthier eating, healthier way of being. You could do, if you have a company or you own a business, maybe start bringing in, you know, bonding exercises with some of your employees. Maybe you could do it with some friends. Maybe start doing game nights, activity nights, something that makes it more fun, getting them to get outside of the norm. Create a game night with your family, doing more things as a family. You know, this is an interesting thing. So where I live, we're kind of close to the hills, and there's this beautiful street that is just, I don't know, it's a very small street. It goes up this hill, very narrow. It's got these trees that hang down. I don't know, it's just kind of looks magical. Like there should be fairies or, you know, I'm going to go way back with kids. Winnie the Pooh should be popping his head out. It's just a beautiful little area. And we found this, and now every so often we'll say, you know, let's go to the magical street, especially when it's raining. I just realized I forgot to do it this last time. I'm not going to miss it the next time. Life goes by so fast. Remember these things. Find little things that you do. Create little traditions. Maybe there's a new tradition you can have in your family. Maybe, you know, around the holidays, if you used to do gingerbread houses, now your kids are older, bring it back. Now you do them. Get 5 sets or whatever it is. Have grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, kids, whomever. Do it and have a little competition. Make it fun. Bring things back into your life. So that could be another resolution for you, to find different ways to create traditions in your family, to create games. But all in all, I hope this list helped give you some ideas. Your ideas don't always have to be so big. It could be something very, very simple, but it's being mindful. Now, in another podcast, I'll be talking about changes and how those changes make your life feel longer. And it's this one guy that came out with this thought. And it's things that I had thought about before, but he put it in this beautiful little package. And I'm going to talk about it in another podcast. But the list I just went over with you today as your part 2 for New Year's resolution, by applying these things, these or other things, small things into your life that create change, that take away from the standard monotony, the things you do all the time, this makes life feel longer. Because sometimes our brain can only take in so much. And we just create patterns of change. This will be my last example. There's a portion in our brain that allows us to kind of cancel things out. So, an example. You're driving down the road, boom, you hit a pothole, okay? Or you see that the street is marked off. You're going to go down that street several times. Boom, hit that pothole. Or, oh, God, I forgot that the road is blocked off. Eventually, your brain will kick it in gear. You'll be in the car with a friend or a family member or a partner, and all of a sudden you swerve to not hit that pothole because you've trained your brain. And that person in the car goes, why did you swerve? They're like, oh, the pothole. The pothole? Pothole's been filled for weeks now. Weeks. Yet you keep swerving. We're creatures of habit. That's why you need to see commercials at least 8 times. You can't decide, I'm going to start exercising every day and do it one day and expect that you're now a person who'll do it every day. You have to create patterns of change. So, take your time, figure out what you want to do. The more changes you add in your life, the more joy you will bring to your life. So, again, I wish you a wonderful, happy 2026. I hope this part 2 helped to add more small baby steps of things that you can do. Let me know what you're trying out. Would love to hear it. Again, I'm Dr. Kat. This was Chat with Dr. Kat. I'll see you next time.